everybody took such pride in their gardens
Beautiful
down there.
gardens.
Beautiful
Big
gardens.
Yeah. Big,
Huge gardens.
It was almost a competition to see whose garden was better.
Yeah.
And we used to joke that your dad, Pat, because he was such a gardener, he
Yeah.
was like the gardener,
Yeah.
and that he used to inspect everybody else's gardens and make sure that they were up to scratch.
That they had kept
Yes,
the
yeah.
weeding done.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
And my Uncle Sam
I
didn't
don't think
like
he would ever do that. He was
No.
just not that nature, but he was
Yeah, well, I
so
know, yes,
serious
yeah.
about his garden.
And
Yeah.
it was a beautiful garden, and then Ernie Else,
Yeah.
who
Yes.
was English, was also an avid gardener, and Ross Taylor, Uncle
Yeah.
Ross.
Uncle Ross.
And you
my
know,
dad liked to garden. He
Yeah.
did good.
Yes.
My Uncle Sam didn't like gardening, but he had to do it because that was the way it was.
Yes.
You did it.
You
You
had
lived
to
there
have
and
a
you had to
garden.
have.
Yeah. And he lived next door to Mom and Dad
Yeah.
for so many years too.
Yeah.
I think all of us actually got, we were growing our own food. That you grew potatoes
Yeah.
that you were keeping for the winter.
In your root
and
cellar.
In your root cellar, and the carrots and things like that. And then in later years, as we got deep freezes and so
Yes.
on, we froze the peas and the beans and all of those things. But most of us had food like that for the whole winter. And I mean, that was even the case still
When you were still
married
there.
and,
Yeah.
and living there again. And I can remember when finally there were people from outside of TransAlta moving into the community and so on. And some of them weren't interested in gardening at all. And it was just horrifying to the rest of us that these people were covering their gardens over in grass and things like that, because you had to have a garden when you were living in Seebe.
Yeah.
Coming back to the root cellar, Marge, it was built into the bank of the Bow River, right in front of, between the two-story house, the two-story duplex,
Yes.
and the river itself. My dad and I believe your dad and Uncle Sam helped
Yeah.
build it.
And then we had one when we moved further into the newer houses. They built one behind our place.
Where
that
Cummings
was-
and
Right.
those
Yes,
people were.
that
yes.
was shared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one down along the banks of the river, my dad ran a power cord down there so that he
Okay.
could turn the light on, so there was actually power on in this little root cellar when you needed to get in and see what you needed to get for the next meal or whatever. It was really neat. The walls were cement. It was just like a little cell, all cement walls. You kept carrots and peas, and not peas, sorry, carrots and potatoes. Turnips all
in
year
sand.
long.
Kept them in the sand.
Yeah, in sand, in pails,
Yeah.
in the root cellar.
It
And it
was
was a
just-
shared facility.
And I think the roof was just, well, the one behind our place, it was just the dirt and the sod over top.
I think so,
Into the
yeah.
side of the bank, I guess, was.
But the one down along the riverbank
Was right in.
had the cement. It was like a
Okay.
cell built
And I
into.
think a few years later, they built another one further east, like closer to
Uncle Ross.
Elsa's and
Uncle Ross
Ross
and
Taylor's
them.
house.
Yeah, I think
was-
there were
was-
two. You're right,
yeah,
Marge.
and
There were.
so there was one down below there because, of course, my kids grew up in Uncle
there.
Ross and Aunt Helen's house at the end there.
Right.
And that was the one after Seebe closed and we were walking around with our children. We took them down to show them that, and they were just astounded that it was there because we'd never told them about it because it really wasn't a safe place for children
Oh.
to be playing. It was on a very steep part of the
But you
the
know,
riverbank.
we never played down in the root
No,
cellars.
no.